Okay, this is LSAT PrepTest 22, Section 3, questions 8 through 14, the second logic game of this test. Okay, so what do we got? We have that exactly 4 medical training sessions, M, O, R, and S, will be scheduled for 4 consecutive days, day 1 through 4, 1 session each day. Okay, so fair enough. Like we're probably gonna have to put these in order in some sense. Okay, 6 professionals, 3 nurses and 3 psychologists. Whoa, okay, so 3 nurses, 3 psychologists will teach the sessions. The nurses are F, J, and L, Fine, Johnson, and Leopold. The psychologists are Tyler, Vitale, and Wong, T, V, and W. Okay, each session will be taught by exactly 1 nurse and exactly 1 psychologist. Huh. Okay, the schedule must conform to the following conditions. Okay, great. So what do we have here? We have the session, we have the nurse that teaches it, and we have the psychologist that teaches it. So what we have is actually 3 layers worth of sequencing here. Sequencing, I guess, slash grouping, however you want to put it. So I mean, like the chart that I'm going to draw up here is going to look like this. Whatever seminar, and then we know that each one of these is taught by 1 nurse and 1 psychologist, right? So this is going to be what our setup looks like. So this is day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. So there's tons of information going on here, but I think this is a good way to organize it. Okay, so the schedule must conform to the following conditions. Each professional teaches at least once. Okay, we got to use all of these guys at least once. Okay, day 3 is the day on which Leopold teaches. Okay, Leopold is a nurse, so Leopold definitely teaches on day 3. Okay, neither Fine nor Leopold teaches with Tyler, so Tyler implies no Fine, Tyler implies no Leopold. Johnson teaches session S only, so Johnson implies S, yeah, and I guess S implies Johnson as well. That's not really relevant. These 2 rules come together. I can see immediately, but we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, and then session M is taught on the day after the day on which session S is taught. So session S, and then M is taught the day after. Okay, so let's actually start with this last rule right here. Right? What do we have? I mean, what we have basically is that there's only a couple ways that this could ever happen. Right? And so first of all, like it just means that S and M, this block, right, can go either 1 and 2, 2 and 3, or 3 and 4. Okay, but then you can start looking at the interactions between these rules. So like for example, right here, we know that S comes right after M, or S comes before M rather, and we know that Johnson teaches session S. Not only do we know that Johnson teaches session S, we know that's the only session he teaches, right? So immediately, wherever S goes, that's the only place that Johnson teaches. We can even extend this box down like this, right, to combine these 2 rules together, right? And then from here, you can see that there's not very many places this new block could go, right? Because S implies that Johnson's here, right? And Johnson is a nurse. So if you go 1 and 2, S, M, and then J here, go 2 and 3, S, M, and then J here. But if we want to go 3 and 4, then Leopold's already teaching that day, right? So let's actually just make a copy of this and move it over here. And what we have here is basically a game of two different situations, right? So this S, M, and J block fits here, and it fits here, but it doesn't fit anywhere else, right? So immediately what we've done is we've combined these 2 rules to our benefit, right? Not only do we know that, now we know that there's no J here and there's no J here. Why? Because S is the only session that J teaches. Right? Okay, what else do we know? We know that T does not teach with F and does not teach with L. Well, that takes out 2 of the 3 nurses. We know that a nurse and a psychiatrist each have to take up, one session, which means that think about what this means, right? Tyler refuses to teach with Leopold, so that means he's not here, and also refuses to teach with Fine. And so whoever fills these slots, it's not going to be J, right? It's got to be F or L. So T is also going to refuse to teach with whoever's in these slots. So it turns out that T has to teach with J and J only, right? These 2 rules, when you combine them, basically lets you come to this inference that you have J and T, and this happens exactly once, right? So J and T, great. So all the rest of these slots, the slot is going to be filled by either F or L, and same thing over here, right? F or L, and then down here, T is also done. So the rest of these are being filled by V and W, V and W, V and W, V and W, right? Okay, so let's actually do some rearranging. Let's put this over here for now. Let's put this down here so we can see the two scenarios. This we can actually shrink since everything is basically, oops, didn't want to shrink it that much. This is already effectively in our diagram, so we can shrink it and leave it up here. Okay, just so we have a reference to know what we're talking about. Okay, so we have tons of information in this game. There's only two possibilities, and I mean I guess I should also mention that up here, right, S and M, two of the four sessions that are already taken care of, right? So what's left here is O and R, O and R. Same thing up here, O and R, O and R, right? Plenty of information. And there's a lot of questions here, so that's a good sign. Okay, so question 8. If session R is the only session for which Leopold is scheduled, okay, Leopold, right? That means that we're up here, because down here Leopold teaches M. So blank. I'm actually going to forego the grid. I'm just going to draw these out like L, J, T, S. We know we have to be in this scenario, right? And we know that this has to be R. So what else do we know? This has to be O, right? Just process of elimination immediately tells us that. Okay, so which of the following is a pair of professionals who could be scheduled for day 2 together? Okay, so here, right? So basically, L, now we know the only slot that L teaches in is here. We already knew that the only slot J teaches in is with S. That means that these have to be full of Fs. Let's actually do these this way. Right? So immediately we know that any answer choice that does not contain F is going to be wrong. So C, D, and E are immediately wrong. Right? Okay, and so looking at answer choices D and E, well, I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here, right? It's either JW or, I'm sorry, answer choices A and B, not answer choices D and E. It's going to be either Fine and Taylor or Fine and Wong, right? Except that what do we know about T? There's only one of him, right? Because he's a snob, basically, and refuses to teach with anybody other than J. So there's no way that it can be T, because there's only one of him. So in terms of answer choice B, is the answer to this question, right? Just straightforward, identify the situation you're in, and then use the information to figure it out. Okay, question 9. Which of the following must be false? No new information, so it has to be something that we can get from our initial diagram. Okay, A. Session O is scheduled for day 1. That could be true down here, right? So let's actually write out these answer choices. Answer is A. No, not right, because that could be true. Session S scheduled for day 3. Well, it's either O or R up here. It's M down here. So yeah, answer choice B can't ever be true. Checking the rest of them really quickly, right? Leopold scheduled for day 1. He can be down here in scenario 2. Vital scheduled for day 4. He could be in both cases. And Wong scheduled for day 1. He could be down here. Right? So answer choice B is the answer to this question. Okay, question 10. Which of the following could be the session and the professional scheduled for day 4? Okay, so again, no new information. So basically we're here, right? And actually both scenarios give us exactly the same information. O or R up here, F or L as the nurse, V or W as the psychiatrist. So A, B, C, D, E. So we can just go through and eliminate. Like for example, like answer is A, session M. No, it can't be session M. Get rid of it. Answer choice B, session O. Okay, sure. Fine and Tyler? No, there's only one Tyler, and he's definitely not in this slot, so get rid of it. The answer choice C, session O. Okay, great. Johnson and Tyler? Nope. J and T are only gonna teach S. No way. Session D, session D. Answer choice D, session R. Fine and Wong. R, F, W. R, F, W. This one looks like it could be true. How about E? Just to make sure. Session S? No, can't ever be session S. Answer choice E is not correct. All right, so now we're just blowing through these questions. How about 11? If session S is scheduled for day 2, okay, that means we're down here. Which of the following is the professional who must be scheduled to teach session M? Well, you just look, right? We're in this scenario, S, J, T. So session M is in day 3. It means that Leopold is the only guy we know for sure, and that's answer choice B. All right, again, we're just looking at our chart and figuring it out. Question 12. If session O and session R are scheduled for consecutive days, then which of the following is a pair of professionals could be scheduled for day 2 together? So O and R are on consecutive days. Up here they are, down here they're not. So okay, no, forget it, we're up here. What is the following is a pair of professionals who could be scheduled for day 2 together? Well, we know the answer to that question already, right? Day 2, FL, some combination of FL and VW, right? So answer choice A, F and L, no, that would be 2 nurses, right? Get rid of it. Answer choice B, F and W, sure, why not? Answer choice C, J and T, no, they're still snobs. They still only want to teach S. Answer choice D, J and V, no, J still only wants to teach S, right? And answer choice E, Leopold and Tyler. L and T, no, T still only wants to teach S. Right, so that's the answer to question 12. Great. Let's keep rolling. Answer choice 13. Answer choice 13. Question 13. Which of the following could be the order in which the nurses teach the sessions listed from day 1 through day 4? Okay, so this one's actually gonna take a little bit of doing. So let's actually replicate these answer choices. So we have F, J, L, L, F, L, L, J, 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 L, F, J, L, L, J, L, L, F, F. Okay, so immediately we can tell that D and E are wrong because of our previous rule that you have to use everybody at least once, right? So you have to have F, J, and L, and then you have one extra. Okay, so immediately D and E are out, which leaves us with A, B, and C. Okay, so we just have to figure out, which ones of these are valid placements of these nurses, right? So let's start here. If F is in slot 1, that means we're down here, right? So F, J, L, and L. That seems pretty good, right? Answer is A looks like it could be true in the second case. How about B? F, L, L, and J. So if we're here, if F is first, we're down here, which means that J is second. No, B cannot be true. How about C? J, J, L, and F. Well, we know that J only teaches session S. So like this immediately tells us it's wrong. We don't like, and if you really want to go into it, then J means that the second slot has to be F or L, right? So the answer is A is the correct answer here. All right, home stretch. If session O is scheduled for day 3, session O scheduled for day 3 means that we're up here. Which of the following must be scheduled for day 4? Okay. So what has to be scheduled for day 4? Basically, what we have is S, M, O, and then R. This is our new piece of information, and we still don't know anything about the nurses or the psychiatrist scheduled for day 4. So that has to be our answer, right? And that turns out to be answer choice A. Right? That's the only thing that you can tell me if I give you this piece of information that O is third. Right? Looking at the rest of these, answer choice B. Session S is not on day 4. Session S is on day 1. F, we don't know. It could be F or L. L, again, we don't know. It could be F or L. And then V, we have no idea. It could be V or W. Right? So answer choice A is the correct answer to this question. And that's all the questions in the game. It looks like there were 7 of them, but once we got the proper setup and made all the proper deductions, this was an example of a game where it was just not actually that difficult.